will work that way. But you see, when you come face to face with creation, when you look at creation from a rational, logical point of view, there's only one source of all this beauty and wonder around us, and that is the Creator Himself. But when you face that, you come face to face with God again. And you see, sometimes we don't want to do that. They didn't want to come face to face with God. People in our society don't want to come face to face with God. And so they turn to preposterous theories to say, to answer the question wrongly, to answer who is this man, and come up with the wrong answer. Because they say, who is this man, and come up with an answer that makes them feel comfortable, that makes them feel at ease, that makes them not feel threatened. So then, Jesus, of course, heard all the rumors. And so he says to his disciples, after they fed the 5,000, who does the crowd say that I am? And they gave him the rumors that it was Elijah, or one of the old prophets, or John the Baptist raised from the dead. And then Jesus makes it personal, as he does to each of us. And he says to them, who do you say that I am? And Peter, bless his heart, Peter just shoots off his mouth. Whatever you say, whatever you think, he said it. And he said, you are the Christ of God. And Jesus has an interesting response to that. Jesus doesn't say, bingo, you got it. He says, no, be careful about that, because there is more to this than what you can even imagine. Because you see, when Peter said, you are the Christ of God, he's like, the Messiah is here, the King is here, and we'll overthrow the Romans and we'll be all excited. And Jesus said, there's something more to it than this. And you ought to be careful spreading this around, because the Christ of God first goes to Jerusalem to suffer and die, and rise again the third day. And then he goes on to talk about how it's not easy. This is not going to be easy for you as my followers. This is not going to be easy for you if you want to follow me. But it's worth it. And then he gets into the Mount of Transfiguration. The interesting thing about this is I thought, well, this proves that Jesus is not Moses or Elijah, because they're up there too. You see, so it couldn't be them. Now, I don't know. I never have figured out how they knew it was Moses and Elijah. They have name tags? I mean, as far as I know, all this black was two old guys standing up beside Jesus. But somehow they knew that it was Moses and Elijah. Which answers those two possibilities of who is this man. But then you'll notice who has the last word. The scribes and Pharisees are spreading rumors. Herod is worried about John the Baptist being raised from the dead. The crowd is, it's this one or it's that one, it's that one. Peter is, well, you're the Christ of God. And then there came a voice out of the cloud. And there was no question whose voice that was. And that voice said, thought through these days, how will I say this? Do I need my Carlton Heston voice? Or do I need my small, still voice? It doesn't matter, because it sinks into those three guys' hearts when the voice says, "This is my beloved son." You want to know the answer to the question, who is this man? This is my beloved son. But he doesn't just answer the question, who is this man? He says, you ought to listen to him. You see what I mean about how this is the most important question in all of history? And it's the question that we have to answer, that you have to answer. Who is this man? And ironically, the Pharisees were right. If you approach the question rationally, honestly, you wind up face to face with God. But that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. You know why that's a good thing? Because we all need a Savior. We all need a Messiah. I am so thankful that Jesus was not Elijah come. He was not some old prophet. He was not John the Baptist rising from the dead. He was God's only beloved Son. And in looking at all the things that he did, you see, you can do that too. You can answer that question. Who is this man? Look at the evidence. He healed the sick. He raised the dead. He fed 5,000. He calmed the storm. Who is this man? He is the Son of God. There is no other answer that it can be. And in answering the question properly, you come face to face with God himself. The incredible thing about the right answer to that question is that when you come face to face with God himself, you find out that he loves you. You find out that he is willing to do everything needs to be done for you. You find out that he is willing to share your life. You find out that he is willing to take you as you are. Offer you forgiveness and cleansing and a fresh start. Elijah can't do that. John the Baptist risen from the dead can't do that. Some old prophet can't do that. But Jesus, God's only beloved Son, can do that. And if you will answer the question properly, if you will face the question right, who is this man? You will come up with the answer, this is God in the flesh. And he is willing to be your Savior. He is willing to be your friend. Awesome. Awesome. Let's pray. Father, one of the best known songs, best enjoyed songs of all time is Amazing Grace. And as we approach this question, and as we approach what Jesus did, that grace truly is amazing. That Jesus would come into our dark and troubled world, willing to face sin and death and defeat it. That he might be our Savior. What amazing grace. Father, I pray for anyone here this morning who has never really answered that question, who is this man? And who is this man to me? Help them to get a fresh glimpse of the Savior. And in seeing his power and his majesty, yield their heart to him and experience his love and forgiveness. And Father, help us live each day with the right answer to that question. To share our lives with Jesus, who is your beloved Son, who is Emmanuel, God in the flesh, who is our Savior. We ask in his name.